We're so happy that everyone registered and attending today's demo. We're so excited to present today. Today, we'll go ahead and talk about how to use our tenant screening service and boosting your business with different social media platforms. So again, we'll go ahead and talk about some good best practices, how to use our features, and then how you can streamline putting everything together onto social media platforms. If you have any questions in today's webinar, go ahead and use the Q&A feature in Zoom. I have one of my colleagues here, Josh, who'll be answering questions during today's session. So if you have any questions, please type it in the Q&A box in your Zoom toolbar. I will also leave some time at the end of today's session to answer anything live as well. My name is Nathan. I'm a customer onboarding lead here at RentSpree, and it's my pleasure to actually co-host today with one of our marketing team members here. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everybody, Matthias McManus here. I am RentSpree's senior content marketing and social media strategist. So I'm really looking forward to having this deep dive conversation about the intersection of rentals, real estate, and social media.
Perfect. Awesome. Glad to have you on the meeting today, Matt. For today's agenda, we'll go ahead and just go over the key items for today is, well, we'll first go over quickly about the RentSpree screening package we provide that you can use on the RentSpree platform. And then we'll go ahead and go over best practices for social media, and then how we can utilize RentSpree's listing pages feature on the social media platforms as well. And at the end of today's webinar, we'll go ahead and answer some Q&A. Please note that we are recording today's session, so if any of your colleagues couldn't make it today, we'll go ahead and email a copy of today's webinar to you after this session here. So first and foremost, we'll go ahead and talk about the screening package and screening requests that you can get through the RentSpree platform. So what's included in our RentSpree screening? Well, first, we do have a standard rental application you can use. This will have the applicant enter information about themselves, such as their personal info, occupational info, residential info, and more. Also, please note that we partner with TransUnion to generate screening reports, which include a copy of the applicant's credit report and score, a criminal background check, and eviction-related proceedings. All of these reports and applications will be generated in what we call an apply link that you can copy and paste on different platforms or websites, things like that. Now, where do I find the apply link? So in this section here, to generate a screening, once you initiate it on your RentSpree dashboard, you'll then be able to click on what we call share apply link, which is a box that you'll see once you get to the select an option to screen section. Once you click that box, you'll see this link here that's generated directly from your account, which you can copy and paste again anywhere you would like. Now, let's talk about where you could post your apply link. So two of the most common areas that people post the apply link is, first is the MLS. So organizations like Bright or Beaches or any of your MLSs that you have, you'll be able to copy and paste the apply link directly on your MLS page. So if anyone sees that page, they can use that link to apply directly to you. Usually agents would paste it in the public or private remarks of the MLS or description of the property, wherever you seem or deem necessary to showcase it. The second most popular way to paste our apply links is through a public listing site. So things like Zillow and rent.com. Again, very similar to MLS, but it's more public viewing. You can go ahead and paste the apply link in the description of the property. So when people visit that listing page, they can use that link to apply as well. However, what we can go ahead and also paste is, of course, our social media platforms. So we have different platforms that we'll talk about today, such as Facebook, Instagram, and more. But Matt, just want to ask you, on your perspective, how would you describe social media today?
Yeah, so social media has evolved quite a bit since it was first launched. It really is in the name, though. It's a very social platform. I think people tend to forget that that's the actual nature of all of these. We get really focused on the marketing aspects and, the entertainment and all of that, but it really is about community building. Each of these different social media platforms has a distinctive personality and features. There's obviously some overlaps on what they offer, but Facebook is that giant platform with, you know, like over 2 billion users. Everybody's on Facebook essentially. They've got a Facebook marketplace. They've got your traditional posting that you can do versus Instagram is very photo and video based. So you can post things like reels on your story, a static post on your grid. And then Twitter is more of like a discussion based platform. So there's a lot of discourse happening. Just to call out, Twitter is now known as X. It rebranded. So I don't know. We'll see how long that lasts for. LinkedIn obviously is your more professional networking based social media platform. TikTok is exclusively video based with some slide photo options that you can incorporate. But yeah, it's very audio, video kind of content that you're producing on a platform like that. And then YouTube has the option to do long form and short form content as well. So they each offer something quite unique, which is why we see so many and why there's not just like one monopoly dominant social platform.
Oh, thank you. I mean, honestly, yeah, there's, social media is such a broad term, so it's really nice to get like definitions on like one of what they actually like kind of cater to, whether it's a short form or long form content. And, it's really important to know what kind of platform you're using when you're marketing like your listings on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And to answer the question, where should I paste my apply link when it comes to these social platforms? So on Facebook, they have Facebook Marketplace, where you can actually have a listing and post it there. You can just do your standard post. Instagram doesn't have the option to actually post a link within the caption, but you can post it in your bio, or you can post a link on your Instagram story. Twitter is similar to Facebook, where you can just post a link in the post itself, as well as LinkedIn. And TikTok, you can post it in the description, and the same goes for YouTube. You can post the actual apply link in the description itself.
Perfect. Now, knowing these key social media platforms, why should we use them? So, why is social media effective? Well, last year, the National Association of Realtors, NAR, did a survey and they found that 46% of quality leads were found on social media. So, almost half of the quality leads that you would find would be somewhere on a social media platform. In that same study, NAR also asked, what's the main reason for social media being used in real estate business? Well, number one, 60% of people used it to promote their listings, which again, they want to promote the properties they are available to rent and apply to. The second most important option is that it's the expectation to have a social media presence online. So those agents who are being worked with by other applicants, there needs to be a social media presence as it's expected. And then third, it's helps build and maintain relationships with existing clients. Again, you're showcasing yourself and your listings on these platforms, but it's also a way that they can communicate to you too, other applicants or agents or anyone you wish to work with. It also allows a streamlined communication between both parties. Now,
Yeah.
in this, oh, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like going back to what I mentioned earlier, with being social is at the core of social media. If you're an agent, you know that your relationships are everything when it comes to your real estate transactions. So whether that be selling a house or actually working with a landlord to fill a unit, being able to build those connections with people is really the core of social media can do for you, as well as the visual aids to your listing.
Yeah, you say connection, Matt. So with social media, how do these platforms reach your preferred audience? How do they reach those applicants that you want to capture those leads from?
Yeah, I mean, I think a good example is like LinkedIn. So you can be part of groups in your local area. You can start connecting with people within your network. So maybe you know an experienced broker or agent, and they know somebody who knows somebody, and you can start building those types of professional relationships, especially on LinkedIn. For Facebook, it's being a part of those other groups, again, like you could do on LinkedIn, where it's your local area, you're finding people, you're saying, hey, like I've got this great listing. And then what's really unique about some of the other platforms like TikTok or Reels, which we'll get into later, is posting content on those specific sites. You can actually expand your audience. So maybe you only have a social media of 10 followers, but using those platforms, you can actually like extend it to maybe like going viral and getting a million views on something and being able to reach your people and doing things like having all the bells and whistles when it comes to your post, like adding a geolocation tag. So if somebody's looking for that, or like hashtags are not what they once were, but maybe there's a specific hashtag for your local area. Maybe that's like a university, you live in a college town, and you can kind of capture college students that way. There are a lot of different areas that you can explore to really reach your people. And just like cold calling, or cold emailing somebody, reaching out to someone directly and being like, hey, like I saw you had this really interesting like post on your, and you were about like looking for a place, actually have an option that's available for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, social media has such like different ways and different algorithms to get your preferred audience to see your content, along with all the effort you put in posting it too. If you're part of different groups, again, they'll capture the attention of those who are interested in. But again, it's all encompassing on a platform that wants to showcase, content to people that apply to. Mhm. Perfect. So yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about one of the most popular platforms we have in today's social media like world is Facebook. Now, many of us know that Facebook has a marketplace integrated, so it's not just a way to interact socially, but now people are selling and conversing about things they have available, such as listings here as well, as you see. Now, Matt, how does Facebook Marketplace differ from regular listing sites we have today?
Yeah, so as I had mentioned earlier, Facebook has a little over 2 billion users. It's the largest social platform. So you automatically have a baked in large audience that's on this website on a daily basis. So the popularity of Facebook Marketplace has exploded the past few years. I've actually gotten an apartment myself off of Facebook Marketplace a
Oh,
couple
nice.
years ago. But also with the things like the rise of rental scams and people not being 100% sure about the authenticity of a listing, Facebook Marketplace can kind of help alleviate some of that because they can actually see who is posting the listing. So it's important to make sure that you have all the bells and whistles listed out when it comes to a Facebook Marketplace post. So, like how many bedrooms, baths, like what are the amenities that you're offering? What's going to be the rent price? If there are like additional fees, like we want to avoid having any hidden fees. But that other element is your profile is attached to this Facebook Marketplace listing. So somebody can actually view your profile. You probably have it either public or private. But they can actually be the person behind this listing versus being unsure. Maybe they're quite skeptical of seeing a random listing somewhere. And to that, we'll go to best practices. Like you may love your grandkids or your children, but make sure that you actually have a photo of your face in the profile picture if you're going to be using Facebook Marketplace. We want to make sure that if a renter is coming to your profile, that they're actually able to see like who is running this page. Another element is just making sure that you have a lot of photos. You don't want to go overboard. You don't need to like take a picture of the tile floor and the granite in between everything, but you want to make sure that you have a good variety of each room, that everything is well lit, that you're representing everything with its best foot forward, but you're not overdoing it. So my recommendation is don't touch the Photoshop or FaceApp tool. Don't like try and get rid of things in the photo because if someone comes to the property and you've like buffered out all the scratches in a photo editor, they're going to be a little disappointed. So well lighting and good quality photos that kind of represent the property in an authentic way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in the photos, for example, these applicants who are interested in the property, they want to imagine themselves in there, living in the space, working in the space, and so on and so forth. So these well-lit photos that showcase the property and highlight them, the applicants can now envision themselves living there and actually, building their life in the property. Awesome. So let's go ahead and talk about another other platforms we call short form videos. Now we have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. These are great ways to provide interesting visuals in a short form content. In this transparency. Social media can also lead to brand trust when you are transparent about what you are showcasing. And as we know, consumers see over 10,000 marketing messages on a given day. Videos are a great way to stand out. So Matt, for these kinds of platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and YouTube, what's important to capture in these short form videos?
Yeah, so it's really in the name. It should be short. So unless you are an experienced marketer or influencer or viral personality, you got to keep the video under 30 seconds. And I know for some people that might be quite difficult because you're like, I've got so much of my listing to show. How can I do this in under 30 seconds? I'd highly recommend just looking for inspiration out there, looking to see like who are the top performers when it comes to social media and how are they actually editing these videos down. What's great about these platforms is they actually have in editing software. And after a couple tries, it's quite easy to use. It's very user friendly. The other element is you want to shoot videos vertically. So that means up and down. So we're shifting away from shooting video content like this, which is horizontally, which is better formatted for like a traditional YouTube video, to this style. So all three of these examples are going to use that kind of shooting format. And the other element is just making sure that like you're succinct and it's good quality content. So you can see like in these clips right here that everything is well lit. They're not shooting this at night with their flash on. They're really making sure that they're giving the property its best foot forward, kind of like we mentioned on Facebook Marketplace. But instead of like static images, which you're really limited to on Facebook, you can actually like show the property. Another really interesting element that people take for granted when it comes to these types of videos is they can actually connect with you as the person who is listing this property. So it not only builds trust, but it can actually close a deal for you because you can post the most beautiful photos all you want. And we know that sometimes that relational aspect is what gets you over the edge when it comes to that sale. So if they can actually see you in the video, get a good understanding of like what your personality is like, they may develop a parasocial relationship and feel connected to you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, this is a short form content is meant to capture and using all the glamorous of what your listing is, of all of the highlights of what's inside looks like, what the living space looks like. It's really important to capture that because you only have a short amount of time. Now, in these, unlike previously with Facebook Marketplace, where you can paste the apply link in the description of the property, Matt, where do we post the apply link in these kind of short form videos? If do we post it at all?
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly recommend it for platforms like YouTube Shorts and TikTok. You can post it in the description, so they have that option for you. As I had kind of mentioned earlier, for Instagram, you're limited on where you can post links. So you can post a link in your bio, or you can do a Instagram story and post a link on the Instagram story.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so again, we can post these links, maybe not inside the video, but again, the description is a great way as this is the second place we would look after the video. And also the bio is one of the most popular places for Instagram as well, as that's where you can post links for anything like an apply link. Now, let's go ahead and showcase again, go over what makes an effective social media post. So we talked about the content, so the photos and the videos, whether it's photos of the property, again, with great lighting, videos with great lighting as well. The caption and description of the property, again, we're not trying to write a full essay for each post. This is something that we want to use for attention grabbing. So keywords and where the rental is, you want to make sure it's up to a minimum, but also it's descriptive enough where it catches the attention of the person viewing that post. And then also, we want to go ahead and talk about when to post. So, how when you post on a platform such as we have here, like Twitter, Matt just asked, is there a great time, or is there a certain golden hour of posting when we're trying to capture the most audience possible?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the amount of effort that you want to put into something like this. So you can definitely do some research and find kind of the most popular hours to post on social media. Like, for example, Tuesday at noon. So if you're on the West Coast, you've got an hour to post on social media. But yeah, you can kind of find the standard ones. If you want to take it a step further, you can actually set up your social media platforms as either a business or creator account, and that can give you insights to your analytics. So, I mean, if you really want to take this kind of stuff seriously, you want to understand when your audience in particular is active on the social media platform. So, maybe you have a bunch of night owls and it actually makes more sense for you to post after 5 p.m. Or maybe you've got people who are early risers and they're up and checking content the first thing when they wake up at 6 a.m. Right before their morning workout. So just having that good understanding of what makes the most sense. Now, how you go about this is you can do some testing of posting at different times. So maybe you have a month where you're just sporadically posting, sometimes at 6 a.m., sometimes at noon, sometimes later in the evening, and just gauge like what are the overall engagements with this type of content, what kind of impressions, which means how many people are actually viewing this content. And all of that information is in those creator and business data analytics.
Perfect. And just to ask, where do you find these analytics? Is it somewhere that's accessible on the app or somewhere else?
Yeah, so these are going to be accessible on the app itself. So my best recommendation is just to do a quick Google search, how to get set up on Instagram as a creator or a business account, how to get set up on Facebook with the same type of prompt. And they'll actually walk you through the steps in order to do that because they're all a little bit different, but it's not super complicated. It's actually like quite easy to do. It's like 3 or 4 buttons that you have to click to get set up.
Perfect. Now, again, we'll go over this. We talked about a little bit, but again, post on your audience, like Matt said. Keep a record of your post performance and evaluate when your audience is active. You want to go ahead and stay consistent with your messaging. Again, you're as an agent, you're posting listings in the area that you're serving, so you want to make sure that is consistent. And again, post attention grabbing content. So the listing, they say it's one of those a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you take great pictures with great lighting that captures the attention, then definitely it'll have someone who is very interested in applying to your property, and they found that on the social media platform.
Yeah, and don't forget you're also selling the area as well too. So if Los Angeles is massive and there are a bunch of different neighborhoods here. So, like if you know of specific things that are going on in that area, don't hesitate to also share that kind of content as well.
Yeah, because a lot of people who are renting now, just give a little bit of what you call it nowadays. People are not just living in these spaces now; they're working from home, they're working out from home, so they're doing everything in this community in all one space. So if they find, like Matt said, like a amazing restaurant that's near the property, or an amazing grocery store, or somewhere that is applicable to them, the area is also a key selling point, as you may know when we are listing these properties on social media. Cool. And with that, we talked about all the key aspects of what makes a great social media post. Now, on the Rent Spree end, can I make posting on social media easier? And the answer for that is yes. Rent Spree has created a tool called Listing Management that can assist with actually showcasing all of these key features in one space. Our listing management will allow you to create a public listing page where you can go ahead and upload photos, property descriptions. Apply Link is actually integrated, and there's a shareable link for your social media platforms. For the rest of right now, we're going to go ahead and switch our screens over to our actual rentspree.com platform to show you how you can use our listing management a feature and how you can utilize that for social media to streamline all the things we talked about today into one area. Now, on my screen here, we're going to go ahead and just log into our RentSpree account like we usually would. Perfect. Once we log into our RentSpree account here, you'll see you're directed to the RentSpree dashboard. Once we have logged into our account, to access the listing management page, we'll go ahead and click on the My Listings tab on the left-hand side. Go ahead and click this here. Once we get to the listing management or the My Listings page, we'll go ahead and click on the property we want to create that listing page for. So we'll go ahead and click on this property address. Perfect. And I'm just going to go ahead and actually refresh this one more time. Perfect. And then once you get to the property overview page here, you're going to see there's a listing management button on the left-hand side that we can click on. Now, once you get the listing management, this is where you can create that free public page for your property that can showcase photos, amenities, and more. And once you do, you'll create a link that you can share on your social media platforms. Now, you see that once you upload your photos and amenities and things like that, you'll see that you can enter a description of the property as well, the monthly rent and everything here. And once this is created, it'll look like this. You'll see this listing page is accessible with the link that's created for that property. And we can now see here, we can upload up to 25 high resolution photos of the property. We can also integrate a video on our page here, as we can connect a video from either Vimeo or YouTube. As we can see, a video is integrated on this page. And also, we can also enter the rent amount. So on this page that you can share, it'll have the rent amount, the security deposit, the lease term date available. And also what's really important is that applicants go ahead and apply from this page. This way, once they press apply here on this blue button, it'll direct them to the beginning of the application, which will then succinctly and streamline them to apply to your rental property. As you see, that directs us here to the application. Now on this page, again, we can share it through this link or through our platforms here. So again, we do have integrations with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and also through email as well. And once you click on this Twitter icon, again, also known as X, as we know now, you'll see here that it'll actually automatically create a message for your account if you're already logged in to actually be ready to post. So you see here that we've already created a listing or created a message that's automatically entered that says, check out this rental at RentSpree. They'll have the link to the actual property, to the listing page, and it'll showcase a photo here. I'm not going to showcase it because this is the back end one, but it usually will showcase a photo of the property, the cover page. And then once they click it, it'll take them to the listing page that we see here. Now on this side as well, we can also see that applicants can go ahead and request a tour. So this is that communication piece we were talking about earlier. Our site will allow the applicant to communicate if they want to connect with you and see the property physically and ask up to 8 days in advance if the property is available. We also have a contact button here so they can contact you directly for any questions as well. We can also enter a descriptive overview. So again, to save you some time from entering it on the actual post, we can actually enter the overview that's descriptive about the property to give a better selling point. The leasing info, of course, the features, utilities, amenities are included with the rent. And also we have integrated a Google map. So usually on some of these like social media posts or listing sites, there's not like a map that you can see large enough where the property is, but RentSpree has integrated a Google map here, not only showcase where the property is, but to help you sell the properties or area, like the transportation that's around it, the schools, groceries, and more. Again, you can create your listing page for free on your RentSpree account for as many listings as you want. And then once you're ready and publish these pages, you can then share it on any of your platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so much more. Again, this platform does help you streamline those posts so you can take more of everything that we've taught today and showcased today and make it in one simple area on the RentSpree dashboard. But now with that, we're going to go ahead and go back to our previous slides we're at before, and we'll go ahead and did live demonstration already. And we'll go ahead and just leave it up for any questions we have here. If we have any questions, please go ahead and enter in the Q&A. But again, we'll go ahead and email everybody after today's webinar with more information such as how to use listing management, a recording of today's session so you have a refresher if you ever need it, or if you want to showcase to your other colleagues. We'll also send you our contact info. So if you want to connect with one of our support specialists while you're making a listing page or have any questions about services, you can always contact us here as well through email and through phone, which we'll go ahead and email you after this demo. And with that, let's go ahead and see if we have any questions here. Let's see, we don't have any just yet. But while we are waiting for some questions to come in, we do have a raffle for today's webinar. So Josh has wrote everyone down who's attending to his webinar. And Josh, do you want to announce the winner for today?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull a name out of my hat. It is a real hat, in case you are not convinced. And our winner today is Wandy Tumlin. Nathan will be following up with you for the raffle prize. But yeah, congratulations, Wandy.
Awesome, Wandy. Congratulations on winning an Amazon gift card. We'll go ahead and send that to you after today's webinar, and you'll get it later today. We'll go ahead and look at the Q&A. It looks like there's no other Q&A for today. Looks like, yeah, we're able to answer everything in the webinar presentation. Again, if you have any questions after today's webinar, we'll go ahead and send you our contact info in an email so you have it on file. Again, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Matt, I want to say again, thank you so much for hosting. And any other key things or any lasting comments you have?
Yeah, just be consistent when it comes to social media. So you don't want to give a feast and famine situation where you post all at once one time or not for a couple months. So consistency is key.
Perfect. All right, everyone, thank you so much for attending today's webinar. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.